But you have the stupid media, the dishonest media, the fake news media saying, well, you know, they really want to run against Trump. They don't want to run. And by the way, we're about 60 points up on DeSanctimonious and 65 points up on Nikki Haley. But these attacks on the 14th Amendment are interesting because they had no case, and we've won every single one of them. And we've gone before some major leftist judges, and we've won every single one of them. But they attack and attack and attack, and they think you're going to, you know, we're going to demean. They're going to want to demean and hurt and harm and destroy your reputation so you can't run. But in this case, so far, we got to keep it that way. It's backfired. And to be honest with you, I'm much more popular now than I would have been if they didn't do it. If they didn't do it. You've actually got the best poll numbers. They did a story the other day, one of the big fake newspapers, and they said, this is the biggest he's ever been, and we have to do it. Look, we have to carry it on for another 11 months. Think of it, less than a year now, and 45 days to caucus time in Iowa. You start it all. And remember, I said it before, I kept you there, nobody else. I kept you there. Not your governor, not anybody. I kept you there. And you're going to be there for a long time. You're going to be number one. You're going to be first in the nation. And no president ever sent the FBI to raid the home of his opponent for crimes that he himself actually committed. He committed crimes. This campaign is a righteous crusade to liberate our republic from Biden and the criminals in the Biden administration. They're criminals. They're criminals that think they can do whatever they want, break any law, tell any lie, ruin any life, trash any norm, and get away with anything they want. They want to control your speech, and they want to control your social media. They want to control what car you drive. How about that? Who wants to buy an electric car? They're for sale for nothing. Well, it's okay if you want to go about 5 miles away from your house, but get back quick. They don't go far. They want to talk about your dishwashers and how much water you're going to have in your dishwasher, even though they don't work. And all of the other things that you have that were so precious and dear and that you never really appreciated until now because they want to take them away. Your heating and cooling in your house, they want to change it. They want to change everything. These people are sick. These people are sick. Not in his house, right? Not in his... 1 year from now, the American people are going to fire crooked Joe Biden and the Democrat Party in a political earthquake that will echo all around the world, all around the world. Once and for all, we're going to end the era of hoaxes and witch hunts and censorship and lawless political persecutions. We're going to save our democracy, and we're going to bring our country back from hell, because our country's in hell. Laughed at all over the world. Just this week, Biden's Homeland Security Secretary even admitted that they are weaponizing artificial intelligence to target American citizens for political speech. Did you hear that? He admitted it. Well, at least he was honest. When I'm reelected, I will cancel Biden's artificial intelligence executive order and ban the use of AI to censor the speech of American citizens on day one. All of these Biden attacks on democracy and freedom are happening because the radical left Democrats know that in a fair fight, they're going to lose in a landslide. I mean, think of it, all of the things they do. Who would ever vote for any of these policies? Open borders, mental institutions pouring into our country. Under the Trump administration, we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. There's never been an economy like we had, with soaring incomes, rising wages, and household net worth hitting the highest level ever recorded, by far greater than now and by far greater than at any other time. When I was your president, the 30-year mortgage rate reached an all-time low of 2.65%. Doesn't that sound good? Doesn't that sound good? Today, you can't get the money no matter what you want to pay, and you can't buy a house. Inflation was basically zero, and we had gasoline down to $1.87 a gallon. The American dream was alive and well like never before in our country. People were thrilled. They wanted to get jobs. They had the best jobs, the best job market. Nobody's ever seen an economy like we had. But thanks to crooked Joe Biden and his goons that surround him, today the American dream is dead. It's a dead dream. In the past 3 years, thank you very much, darling. I love you too, actually. In the past 3 years, Biden and the radical left Democrats spent $12 trillion wasting colossal amounts of your money on socialist scams that caused cumulative inflation of over 20%. Think of that. As a result, the average 30-year mortgage rate is now 7.8%, but you can't get it, so it doesn't matter. The typical family lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in purchasing power when buying a home. And thanks to Biden's insane Green New Deal, families can't even afford to buy a car. You can't afford to buy a car. Who'd like to go out and buy a car? Although you might get one electric one now. They were very expensive, but now they can't sell them. They can't sell them. People want to be able to drive for about 45 minutes, you know? But while Biden has crushed the American dream, we will revive the American dream, and we will bring it back bigger, better, stronger than ever before, and we're going to bring it back fast. We're going to bring it back fast. It's going to happen very quickly. We're going to drill, you know that. We're going to drill, baby, drill, drill. We're going to get your energy down. We're going to seal up those borders so tight, and we're going to have the largest deportation of very bad people, shouldn't be in this country, ever in our country's history. I will quickly end Joe Biden's inflation nightmare, rebuild the greatest economy on record, and I will not rest until your family can afford a beautiful home and a brand new, beautiful car of your choice. Combustion, electric, any way you want it, you're going to have lots of choice, and that's the way it should be. I'm not saying electric cars are bad. They have problems. They have big problems. There is a danger to them, and they don't go far. I mean, it's a big problem. You say, let's drive over to Ohio. You don't want to stop 7 times, right? I'd like to sort of say, darling, let's now fill it up when you get there, or maybe when you get back if you have the right car. With your vote, well, 2025 is going to be. Look, it's going to be the biggest election in our history. It will be. I think 2025 is a chance to be one of the strongest and most prosperous years of the history of our country. We're going to do this fast. You know, drilling goes fast. Those guys know how to drill, but they stopped them from drilling. I was very proud. Anwar in Alaska, the biggest oil field probably in the world, probably bigger than Saudi Arabia, but very big. They closed it up. For 60 years, Reagan tried, and everybody tried. Bush probably tried. Who knows what he did? I doubt it. I doubt it. But Reagan tried to get everybody. They couldn't get Anwar. I got it done. And the first week in office, they knocked out Anwar. They knocked out the pipeline, right? They knocked out our pipeline, the Keystone Pipeline, Keystone XL. They knocked it out, 48,000 jobs. And those pipeline workers who love Trump, by the way, they should fire their union people because the union people endorsed Biden. And the following day after the election, he terminated 48,000 jobs. And those people went bankrupt. Those people suffered greatly. It's no wonder crooked Joe Biden and the far-left lunatics are desperate to stop us by any means possible. They don't care how. They don't care. They don't have any scruples. They're weaponizing law enforcement for high-level election interference because we're beating them so badly in the polls. You take a look. The Washington Post had us up 11. Washington Post. And they apologized to it. Can you believe it? They said, there must be something wrong. He's up 11. Then the following day, they announced we were up 12. And the Harvard-Harris poll just came out. This is a brand new one. We're leading the field with 67, with DeSanctimonious at 9. And Bert Brain is at 8. She was another beauty. She said, I will never run against you, sir. I will never run. You know, I mean, look, the lieutenant governor of South Carolina, Henry McMaster. Did anybody ever hear of him? He's great. So he was a lieutenant governor. He backed me. She backed another. I'm not going to say because he's a friend of mine now, but she backed somebody else. I thought she'd back me because I was always very nice. But, you know, sometimes nice in politics doesn't matter. And Henry McMaster was great. He was a lieutenant governor, and I wanted to make him governor. So what I did, I moved her over there. He became governor. He's done a fantastic job. And I got her. You know, she was fine. Bird Brain. There's a reason for that name, isn't there? And the other guy, I got him elected. He was elected because of me. And he forgot very quickly. I got him the nomination. Then I got him past a very hot politician at the time, who turned out a couple of years later to be a crackhead. But at the time, he was a very hot politician. They said, he's going to be president someday. And I said, well, Ron said to me, I don't think I can beat him, sir. I don't think I said, you beat him. Look, you just got the nomination. Thank you very much, President Trump. You just got the nomination. It was very interesting. He was losing by so much. I say to everybody, if George Washington and Abraham Lincoln came back to endorse him, it wouldn't have meant a thing. He had no chance. And I endorsed him. He went up like 40 or 50 points almost immediately, and he ended up winning. The people that he was running against, a good person. I didn't know him, so I didn't feel so guilty. I didn't know him. Somebody said he was a rhino, so it makes me feel better. But the person that he was running against was up by numbers that were not beatable. And when I came out and endorsed him, it was a whole different ballgame. And then I got him passed. We did 2 or 3 rallies. I think we had the lowest crowd was 45, 48,000 people. We had tremendous rallies for Ron DeSanctimonious. That's why I call him Sanctimonious. I should take the D out, Sanctum, but I want to have a little relationship to his name. Remember, he tried to change his name. Do you remember? He tried to change his name to Ron DeSantis. It's Ron DeSantis, DeSantis. And I sent him a note. Never change your name in the middle of a campaign. It's not a good thing. But what we did was pretty amazing. We got him elected, and then 4 years later, the press is screaming at him, will you run against the president? And he said, I have no comment. I said, he has no comment. That means he's running. We got to hit this guy. And my geniuses backstage, I get paid all this money. They said, sir, don't bother talking about, because people don't care about loyalty. I said, I think they do care about loyalty. See, I think they do. I think they care a lot about loyalty. And we hit him very hard, and he's been falling out of the air like a very seriously wounded bird, right, to the ground. And it's a very pleasant thing to see. Now, it looks like he's gonzo, but we never want to say that. We got to get this thing finished. I never want to say, you know, on television today, they said the primaries are over. I said, don't listen to that. Don't listen. Nothing's over. I've seen things that are over, and bad things can happen. You got to get to the polls, you got to get to caucus, and you got to do your job, and we got to win. And then we got to focus on November, and we got to beat this crooked guy that's in office. And I never spoke about him this way. I was respectful, you know, modestly. How can you be respectful of this guy? He doesn't know anything. He can't put 2 sentences together. And he's negotiating our nuclear package with Kim Jong-un, who won't talk to him, by the way. He won't even talk to him. North Korea won't talk to him, but he likes me. He likes me. You know, for 4 years, you had no trouble with North Korea, did you? No trouble whatsoever. Started a little bit rough, right? Rocket Man, little Rocket Man. He said, we've got a red button on my desk, he said. I said, I have a red button also, but mine's bigger, better, and it works. Mine works. And then, no. And then I got a call from North Korea, and they wanted to meet. We met, and we really got along. We got a great relationship. You know, the press hates to hear that. They say when you have a great relationship. It's good to have a good relationship with people that have nuclear weapons and lots of other things. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But we got along, and President Xi, can you imagine President Xi, who's a piece of granite? He's tough and smart. He's at the top of his game, and this guy walks into his office and talks. He walks into his office and falls asleep. That's what happens. You know, I said to President Xi of China, I said, could I ask you a question? Do you have much of a drug problem? No. We have no drug problem. And what do you attribute that to? He said, quick trial. I said, what's quick trial? I sort of knew, you know, but I said, I want to be nice, right? I said, what's quick trial? He said, we immediately give trials to drug dealers, and if they're guilty, which is probably about 119%, I would say they don't have a great chance. We execute them. And because of that, we no longer have a drug. They used to have a massive drug problem years ago.